Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This is an R-rated action sci-fi movie around 2 hours and 20 minutes. Now this was released in 1991 and the story of this being a cyborg identical to the one who failed to kill Sarah Connor must now protect her teenage son John Connor from a more advanced and powerful cyborg. Let's jump straight into the good points. Now the good points about this movie is this is one of the best sequels of all time, guys. It clearly ups nearly in everything in this movie. Of course, we're going to go on to talk about that, but the budget in this movie as well is really used amazingly, especially coming from the first one. Obviously, that had a lower budget, so it struggled a little bit more. But even after the first movie's success with that low budget, this really exceeds in every way. Director and writer James Cameron deserves a massive amount of praise for this movie. The guy's an absolute legend, and what he's done in this movie and in the franchise so far up to this point is excellent. The story of the movie felt so much more interesting in a way, because even though the first movie's story was great, this felt more interesting, it felt more compact and really perfect in a way compared to the original movie. The tone of the movie is really greatly handled because it isn't just set because of the music or because of what's happening in the movie. It's really set through the characters and how they're built throughout the movie, which is really great and deserves a lot of credit. The fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger is back as a Terminator, but not as a villain, but as the hero, as a good guy in this movie, is truly epic and really great decision making, and really Arnold suited the role perfectly. The technical side of the movie was really great and upped again massively. We really have some great special effects in this movie compared to the first movie. They're so much better with a bigger budget. And then goes on to the cinematography and the editing, which really upped again in this movie. Took a massive upgrade. You could tell the quality was much better. You could tell the editing was so much more sharp and really suited this movie's purpose. And then it goes on to the lighting and the colour grading. I really want to give a lot of praise to that, because especially in my favourite scene, which I'm going to talk about soon, it really is really well handled. The score in this movie, guys, it's just amazing, isn't it? From the first movie, I love the score, but this is improved again. Really, the quality of the sound and the way they use the soundtrack and the score is really great. It really sets the tone, and still, it goes from that 80s style to a more modern take. Even the action in this movie takes another upstep. Bigger explosions and bigger shootouts and car chases and all the stuff that we love when it comes to the Terminators. But even though it's bigger, it doesn't feel too unrealistic. Also love the comedy in this movie. There's a slight bit of comedy, and the way it's handled, it isn't over the top and forced. It feels quite natural. Especially the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger basically shoots the guy's legs after promising he ain't going to kill anybody. And he walks up to John Connor and says, he'll live. Pretty much. It's just slight little bits of comedy which will give you a little giggle, and then you get over it. The script overall in this movie I felt was great. It really was powerful, especially when you think of some of the things which really sort of bring a tear to your eye. Some of the things that the Terminator says sound really human-like, as well as the relationships that he has with these characters in this movie is so epic. The scene where John Connor is basically saying goodbye to Arnold's character at the end is truly epic, and somewhat can be quite teary-eyed, because there's some great chemistry there, and the script is so powerful, especially what Terminator says to John Connor in that scene. The performances in this movie are just great. They're truly epic, and the characters and the cast do a great job with this movie. We have Linda Hamilton as Sarah in this movie, who is truly great, because she felt somewhat more relatable in this movie. She's truly human, and you can feel and see what she suffered from the last movie, and she just still maintains that badass side as well. Edward Furlong's John Connor is the best portrayal ever. Yes, I said it. This is the best portrayal of John Connor yet. There's been so many changes which has been annoying throughout the franchise, but this is the best portrayal of the character. He suffered, and we can see that and feel that with his tough backstory which he's had. But he also has that badassness which his mum has as well. The way he carries himself, the way he speaks to people and treats them really is funny, and really causes for some great chemistry, especially with his mum, but really with Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator character. The villain T-1000, played by Robert Patrick, does a great job with this villain. He truly is the greatest villain out of the franchise, in my opinion. He's so great, even over Arnold's villain in the first one, who done a great job, might I add. He doesn't have to be as big as Arnold. That's what's truly scary about him. He isn't as big as Arnold, but the evilness and the determination in the eyes of the character and in himself, and the way he uses his abilities, the speed of the guy, the way he kills people is truly scary. My favourite scene in the movie, which I was talking about obviously when it comes to the lighting and the grading, has to be the moment where Sarah is escaping the mental home, the hospital, and she meets Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, the Terminator, and her son, but the whole presence around this she brings is complete fear, the way she's scared, and she hadn't even noticed her son behind him. She's just so scared, and she's so focused on the Terminator. It brings a great tone to the movie. But my favourite thing overall with this movie has to be the smartness between the story and the character developments. From the beginning to the end, how these characters pan out and the story is truly great. Really well directed and written and everything. It was just great. We look at the Terminator's character to start off with. He basically does anything to protect John Connor. He will kill anybody. Then he starts to understand what's right and what's wrong and how humans and their feelings work. Then we go on to John Connor as a character. He really went from having no father type figure to then having the best father type figure in the Terminator as Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then having to watch him die. What a story that is, as well as having no mother in the movie to having a mother back who he first thought was crazy and then started to believe her. We also have Sarah as well, who's fully against Terminators, who ends up being emotional having to kill one because she has to lower him into the obviously hot lava and stuff and watch him die, but she sees that relationship between her son and the Terminator. She feels gutted that she has to do that. So guys, it's rating time. Let's have a look what the critics had to rate this movie. We have IMDb giving it a 8.5 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 93%, and Metacritic giving it a 75. My rating for this movie is a 10 out of 10. That makes this movie an amazing movie. Guys, overall, this is one of the best flawless movies out there for me. One of the best movies of all time. I've watched this movie so many times and will continue to watch it. I at least watch it 2 times a year. It is just so great. I would recommend this movie to anybody out there to watch it. So guys, a 10 out of 10 for Terminator 2 Judgment Day. What is your ratings and thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you agree? My rating and my thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. Also guys, stay tuned for the next review coming up on the channel on the Terminator franchise journey, where obviously I'm going to be reviewing Terminator 3, The Rise of the Machines. I'm sure you guys ain't going to want to miss that one, as well as the Best of Horror YouTube series, reviewing a bunch of horror movies in the month of October going into November as well. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below your favourite horror movies where I can go ahead and review them for you guys, as well as on my Twitter at jspringett94. You can DM me or also comment on the pinned tweet on my channel where you guys can let me know what horror review you want me to do next on the channel. Thank you very much guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this as much as I have. I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time guys on Talking with Jay Springett.